The college basketball experience, Southwestern Athletic Conference, a.k.a. the SWAC edition on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, is brought to you by Underdog. Underdog is hooking up new customers. Play just $5 and get $100 in bonus funds when you sign up with our promo code TCESGPN. Welcome, everybody, into the college basketball experience, a.k.a. the SWAC-tion. Oh, yeah. I know we got a big college football slate later tonight, but I was like, you know what? What could we make? Let's put some more content out here tonight. What league should we do? We should do the Southwestern Athletic Conference, a.k.a. the SWAC, baby. Let's go. Yeah, can't wait to talk about the SWAC. This is a great league. They do a good job of scheduling where they play on Monday nights, so we see this conference often, usually on YouTube is where they primarily play their games. So we'll talk about it. We'll break it down team by team. 12 teams in this league. The defending champion Grambling Tigers here, and we'll talk about it. So, but first, if you're wondering who you're listening to, I am Moneyline Mac, a.k.a. the former video coordinator for Bob Huggins and Frank Martin. Cheers, everybody. Wednesday night. Sometimes technology just does not want to work the way you want it to. But, hey, tell you what does work. That is the Locks and Dog podcast. So get on over there and subscribe to that. And joining me to talk SWAC-tion, you guys know him from the Windy City. He is Cannabis Capper, a.k.a. CC. What's up, brother?
Mac, it's good to be here. Going to be talking SWAC. Honestly, I've got a soft spot in my heart for the SWAC. I like this conference. Just – it's they're on Monday nights, when there isn't any football, and it's there for you. If nothing else, you see some unique stuff in these games. I dig this conference. Also, speaking of Locks and Dogs, I'll be going live for NFL picks right after this. So
make sure you go check that out. Go check out the Locks and Dog podcast with Cap, and I know Troy's on there often as well.
Yeah. Troy Huff also.
Go ahead.
Huff also gets on that show too sometimes. We got a rotation.
Huff. Yeah. So make sure you check out Huff and go check out Huff over at the Pump Fake Pod. You guys know him from the great state of Indiana. He is Michael Huffer, Puff Huff, baby. What's up, man?
Hey, Moneyline Mac. Thanks for having me, man. I'm feeling good. Yeah, I love the SWAC. I think it's a great conference. You guys touched on it, Mondays. And also just a lot of school spirit and passion, I think, goes into this. So even if your team is 2-28 at the end of the season. So
that it is. And like we said, last year, actually, I misspoke. Grambling won the year before. Alabama State beat Grambling in the final. There was no repeat. And then Alabama State went on to win a NCAA tournament game before falling to Auburn. They actually were pretty competitive in that game. They only lost by 20. But Huff, go check out the SWAC, not parlay. I was already ready to give out a SWAC parlay like it was MLK Day. We always give out the SWAC parlay on MLK Day every year. But go check out the SWAC preview on the Pump Fake Pod. Your overall takes before we go team by team on this league.
I think the arrow's pointed up. I know there were some this conference has seen its share of dark days. A few of the teams have seen their share of dark days, but I feel like a lot of them are kind of starting to come out of it. The arrow on the conference overall, I think, is pointed upwards. I think you're seeing just like a higher class of athlete. The transfer portal's kind of opened it up where you're seeing a bit more experience. You're not seeing teams that are having to start like a bunch of bunch of underclassmen. It's mainly, seniors, graduate seniors, a couple of, juniors mixed in, but you're seeing more experienced players, and it's kind of a trend that we've seen, throughout, college hoops, and it's kind of carried, with the transfer portal, it's kind of carried over into the SWAC. So I feel like the quality of basketball is, the arrow's pointed up. It's higher than we've seen it in years past. And I continue to wish for good things for the SWAC.
Hell yeah. Huff, how about you, man?
Yeah, I mean, all things to the SWAC. I got to say, this year alone, I mean, intra-conference coaching swaps this year. A lot of new coaches, a lot of new brands. I think even the portal, like attacking the portal, has to be more intra-conference, or a lot of these portal kids kind of go elsewhere. But so a lot of new rebrands, and I don't want to spoil the gun, but a familiar face at a new helm of a different team, or a team that we'll talk about that a lot of people probably know. And I was even shocked about seeing as head coach. So I'm actually excited to see the coaches taking over in this conference. And we've already seen some that have stayed for a few years really build those kind of programs up. So I think all things up for the SWAC. I'd have to agree with Cap and you, Mac. I mean, you guys touched on it great. I can't wait for the Southwest. Let's dive it in. I'm all in. I'm all in.
Speaking of familiar faces, we do in fact get one more year of Dr. Bradley. He was a TCE favorite last year, and I did a deep dive into Dr. Bradley. Around the rim, deadly at the free throw line. Duck and cover.
I was just getting ready to say, so 4 new head coaches, 2 of which stay in the league. So really only 2 new faces when it comes to the coaching changes. Donte Jackson goes over from Grambling to Alabama A&M, and then Patrick Crarey goes over from FAMU to Grambling. So only 2 new faces, but 4 first-year head coaches. And, Clark, the rosters are getting finalized here. We do tip off in less than 4 weeks, so we had to wait on the SWAC shit. All right, let me hit an ad real quick, and then we will dive into Alabama A&M. Download the SGPN app in your app store for free, easy access to all the SGPN picks and podcasts today. All righty, we're getting into it, baby. The SWAC preview, 2025-26 season, youtube.com/college experience. I got a little pep in my step for the SWAC, baby.
You should.
Hell yeah, man. It's a great league. Donte Jackson, I just spoke about it. New era at Alabama A&M. This guy has proven he can win in this league. He has 3 regular season titles in the SWAC over the last, 7 years at Grambling. He finished, honestly, in the top 4 every year except for last year. They had a little bit of a down year at Grambling, but he still earns an Alabama A&M job. 132-24 in his time there. The magical season was 2 years ago where they got to the dance, and then they won the playing game as well at Grambling. So like Donte Jackson, new group here at Alabama A&M. Huff, I yield to you. Your take on this roster at Alabama A&M.
I'm actually pretty high on Alabama A&M. I think Donte Jackson has the intangibles, like you mentioned, known to win. And they also bring over a potential SWAC player of the year in Kentavious Dozier, who averaged 13 points a game for Grambling. So familiarity, some continuity, along with bringing in a couple portal pieces. I really like Alabama A&M, and I think they have one of the better backcourts in the conference, and also can play both sides of the ball. So yeah, I'm actually high on Alabama A&M this season. Definitely a step up from 10-22 last year. They test themselves against Indiana, Clemson, Mississippi, and a couple other top P5 conferences. So I think that's always a good thing and translates well come conference play. So I actually am pretty high on A&M here.
I got to co-sign a lot of what Huff said. I like, first off, they brought in a guy who knows how to, recruit in the SWAC and knows how to win in the SWAC. His teams were always at least competitive. They were never, they never got to the, the embarrassing levels that some of the programs have kind of sunk to at times. But it kind of begins and starts with the luggage that he brought with him from Grambling. Kentavious Dozier, honestly, from an underdog fantasy standpoint, promo code TCSGPN, Dozier for points and rebounds, that's that's what those props I'll be looking to hammer if there's ever like a light Monday night slate, and we get SWAC props. That's the guy that I'll be all over for points and rebounds, or probably or maybe even just the rebounds or just the points by themselves. But so they returned 0 out of 5 starters. That's a bit concerning, and they did finish 9th last year in the SWAC. What are we laughing at?
They returned 0 out of 5 starters. That's my favorite. Try to sell them. They returned 0 out of 5. But
no,
hey.
well, it's kind of what's to be expected in the portal era. Like if you have a coach that comes in from somewhere else, your guys move out, his guys move in. So that's for a program like this. That's not the end of the world. I mean, it's a bit concerning that they finished 9th in the SWAC last year, 6-12, and don't return anybody. But it's not the biggest deal in the world. I think they've got there's a solid rotation here. I can kind of see how the rotation's forming up on paper, and they've got a proven winner in their first year coach. So arrows pointed up. They won't finish 9th this year. That I'll guarantee.
I agree. I agree with you.
Oh, yeah.
I was just busting your chops, Cap.
Oh, bust away.
Yeah, I like I said, I like Donte Jackson. At year 1, I'm trying to remember. Year 1, he won the league year 1 regular season at Grambling. Yeah, I think I kind of want to just blindly back Jackson. I think he needed a change of scenery, man.
Yeah.
I think Alabama A&M has more, and Alabama A&M in Huntsville has more resources than Grambling. So I think that's the main reason he took the job. So yeah, sign me up for a top half of the finish. I'll trust a guy that's won this regular season 3 times already and gotten to an NCAA tournament. I don't know if I'll say contender, but top half, maybe top
half. Yeah.
Well, we'll see where I end up with them in the end. All right, let's get over to the next team that's always competitive in this league. That is the defending champs here. Alabama State, Tony Madlock doing a good job down here. Year number 4, he is 57-78 overall. If you remember, he was the interim coach at Ole Miss, I believe, back in 2018 as well. Spent 1 year at South Carolina State before that. He was 15-16. Another veteran coach that I just kind of want to trust. I mean, each year they've gotten better and better, as you can see in the little three years leading up to his overall record. Last year they put it together. They got to the tournament. I trust Tony Madlock. Huff, how about you?
Yeah, I mean, how can you not trust Tony Madlock and Alabama State, like you mentioned, always being just a proven winner. And we talk about this a lot is testing themselves in the non-con, and they've been able to go to Dayton a couple times. So definitely familiar with playing top teams. So I think they have a system in place that they know how to win in the SWAC. And we mentioned this on the Pump Fake Pod, but 8 teams were above 500 in this conference last year. So, even if you finish 7th or 8th and you look like you're, 13-19, you can make the tournament no problem because you're at the top half of the conference and could get an easier bid. So I find that kind of funny. So about this conference always too. And I think Alabama State will always just be in that top half of the conference.
Yeah. Alabama State returns 1 out of 5 starters. Won 12 games in the SWAC this year. Finished tied for 4th. But they did make it to Dayton, which was a big achievement for them. When it comes to guys that are returning, they have the 1 starter that'll be back, but they also have a couple other internal pieces that are expected to take on bigger roles this year. They added a little bit in the portal, but this is more of a team that kind of builds from within the system. In a league like the SWAC, I think that's actually a great way to zag when everybody else is zigging. Mm-hmm. Just kind of as opposed to looking to fill in with the portal every year, but actually looking to build guys that that come in his program, get them in the system, have them understand their roles, and then when they're junior seniors, they're ready to really step up and contribute to the roster. And that seems to be more the tack they're going with. They did add a former Mexican. Trey Miller came over from UT-RVG, where he averaged 10 points, 2 boards, and 4 assists. So again, he's going to figure in their backcourt in some way, shape, or form. I like this team upper half for sure in my mind. Probably upper quarter.
Yeah, I kind of giving out top 5 finishes left and right here to start. I think both Alabama A&M and Alabama State are 2 top 5 teams. 2 proven winners. Madlock, like you said, won 12 games last year. It was a nice jump from the year before where they went 8-10. And I'm glad you guys hit on. I should have hit on this in the opener. Their overall records are complete fake overall records because they have to play 10 to fucking 12 bye games to fund their athletic department. So each team in the SWAC and MEAC is probably going to start no better than 3-10 to start league play. Most of them are going to be 1-11, or 1-12, 2-11. A lot of them will be 0-13, just because they got to make their money, keep their athletic department. So you really want to look at their conference records. And I'll go back to Donte Jackson as well. He's never, outside of last year, he's never finished with the losing season in the SWAC. And then for Madlock, 6 wins year 1, 8 wins year 2, 12 last year. You can see the overall trajectory of this program. I think they stay where they are right now, and as a solid top 4 team in this league, top 5 team.
You could finish 9th in this
just wait till we get
and have 10 wins. I mean, it's
yeah. You're not. I mean, we can go. We can pick one of these teams. We'll go to Mississippi. We'll highlight Mississippi Valley's schedule because they always.
We got to break that down in detail. Trust me, I've got that one circled. Don't worry.
Schedule as well.
Let's go over Jake Morton taking over here, former Miami guard, first time head coach. He's been around the block as an assistant coach, working for Leonard Hamilton at Florida State. He worked at ECU for Schwartz, Jack State with Ray Harper. This is an interesting team just because it's a relatively new team, first-year head coach. A lot unknown here. Huff, what's your take on these Alcorn Braves?
Yeah, I think Alcorn, they take a step back from 6. I think first-year coaches, they do fare well in this conference like we've talked about already. But, and Morton's got good portal and ability as he's already done that and brought in Saxby Sunderland from Chicago State. I just want to point him out, who was at East Carolina with him when he was an assistant. He also went to Longwood. I mean, my gosh, connect 4 around here for all these kids. It's really tough, but yeah, I think he's going to be a star player for this team. But one thing I want to shout about Alcorn, they're going to have a 38.5-point spread against Maryland, Baylor, Iowa State, Ole Miss, Oklahoma, you name it. They're going through the gauntlet, getting their money's worth for sure. I always bet on Alcorn State every once in a while, and sometimes always against them as well at the beginning part of the season. They're always kind of at the bottom half. I think they definitely surprised themselves last year, but a new look this year. It's going to be a step back, but I still think they're going to be able to win games and beat the top half of this conference and be competitive at least with the portal pieces they bring in.
Okay. Alcorn State returned 0 out of 5 starters. They only have three returning players overall from last year's team. Honestly, I think this is going to be a year for the future for this roster. I'm expecting this to be one of the, I'll say, bottom quarter of the SWAC. This is going to be a big step down for them, just because there's so many unknowns with it. There's first year coach, a lot of new players, first year system, a lot of players that haven't played in the SWAC before. A lot of players haven't played in Division I basketball before. They've got a couple interesting guys at the bench that there are a couple interesting guys kind of running at their bench. They got a 7'2" senior from Morocco, Aladdin Boutieb. Did my best in the pronunciation, but he's not expected to start or really play much. But I think he's probably going to stick around for his graduate year. And the eye is more towards next year. The one freshman they have coming in is kind of an intriguing prospect. His name is Michael Jones. He's a 6'7", I guess you'd call it like a power guard almost, where he averaged 20 points and 14 rebounds in a game in high school. He's not going to play much. He shouldn't play much this year, but again, it's an eye towards the future. I think that's the way they're looking at their roster construction this year. And that's the way I'm looking at them from a standings perspective as well. This is going to be a rebuilding year.
Co-sign everything you guys said. And I think we'll realize how good a coach Landon Bussey was headed over to
Chicago State.
Yeah, so Alcorn's a tough job. Bussy did a good job there. I think it takes a year for Moore to get his guys in.
So too, yeah.
11-20 in the season record, but 11-7 in conference play last year was Alcorn State, by the way.
Fantastic. Fantastic. I'll tell you what else is fantastic. MyBookie.ag. Your place to bet on basketball and everything else. Their prop builders second to none. Their motto is bet anything, anywhere, anytime. Easy deposit and lightning fast payouts using crypto. So head over to MyBookie.ag. Use our promo code TCESGPN for a 100% deposit bet back bonus up to $500 for new customers. That's MyBookie.ag. Promo code TCESGPN. We're also brought to you by Novig. Novig is America's #1 sports prediction market, getting you the best prices everywhere. They got -103s all across the board. So, yeah, shop around over there at Novig. It's available in 35-plus states. Download that Novig app and get $50 off when you spend $5 and you use our promo code SGPN. Get in on the action. Novig, promo code SGPN. We transition over to APB, Arkansas Pine Bluff, baby. Let's talk about these Pine Bluffs. Solomon Bozeman headed into year number 5 now. 36-88 overall. I will say his conference record is not good. 22-50 overall. Last year, disappointing. 11th place. 2 years ago, they were all right. They were 8-10 in league play, tied for 8th. Dr. Bradley was a big part of the struggles last year because we never knew if he was playing or not. Yeah, I don't know what I think of Bozeman, man. He's got to prove it to me. He's never finished over 500 in the SWAC in his 4 years. Is this the year they do it, or do they continue to trend downward, Huff?
I'd have to agree with you here. I'm not impressed by Bozeman. He's kind of maybe that employee that's been sticking around a little bit too much, and no disrespect there by any means, but at some point you have to have a step up, and it just has not been there. And now it's coming up on year 5 here for Solomon Bozeman, and a decent non-con record, a bad conference record, just the opposite of what we've talked about. But you do bring in a lot of experience for this team. So a lot of kids are above 22, in the 24 ranges. It's crazy to say in the college sphere, but so a lot of older guys from JUCO, D2, and then some other D1 schools as well. Just a couple D1 schools, UTSA, I believe.
Yep.
So yeah, I think they're going to have more than 6 wins, but they're going to be at the bottom half of this conference yet again. But may eclipse just above that 10-win margin, I think.
Okay, so last year they finished 3-15, 11th in the SWAC, just above MVSU, I believe. Also returned 0 out of 5 starters from last year's team. That's not necessarily a bad thing. The UTSA transfer that you're referring to is Jaquan Scott. He only played 6 games UTSA last year, but he averaged 7.3 points, 4.7 rebounds. So he's a 6'8" graduate transfer. So he's got size, he's got a little bit of size, and he's got experience. So there's that. Outside of him, the only other name that stood out was another 6'10" grad transfer named Travis Pourceau. Averaged 5.6 points, 3.7 boards at Division II Lees McRae. They're going to have size, and they've got, and then they're going to, they have athletes. Outside of that, I'm not sure what else you're getting. This team has just been a lot of struggle, and I'm seeing a lot more struggle ahead. I don't know if honestly if there was ever to be a SWAC coach that got let go, I think you'd have a case for making a change from Bozeman if they continue to struggle this year, and I think they're going to continue.
Yeah, I think he's got to have at least a 500 year in the SWAC.
Yeah, I don't with this roster.
Yeah, I don't see it either.
So.
This is a fade for me. Bottom tier team of the SWAC.
The best thing about APB continues to be their logo.
Always.
That's all I'm going to say.
Were you ready for this one, Cap?
Oh, I know exactly where we're going, and I can't wait for this.
Reggie Theus and Bethune Cookman. If Colby was on here, he would pick him to win the fucking league. Year 5 at Bethune Cookman, he is 55-74. He is 39-33. They have taken a step every year. 10th place year 1, 7th place, and 5th place, and 3rd place. I mean, they have a winning record overall with all those bye games in the last 2 years combined. And they bring in some dudes here. Reggie Theus, here we go. What do you think, Huff?
Hey, I mean, I'm not blowing smoke up TCE's and Colby's ass. I love Bethune Cookman here. They
no.
Bethune.
They may be the most talented team, top to bottom, 100%. You bring back Jacoby Hetty and Zion Harmon, who played at Seton Hall. Now they're back. I mean, that's a Shaq and Kobe kind of for the SWAC. I think they're both going to be fighting for SWAC Player of the Year. And let's not forget Dr. Bradley as well, too, on Bethune Cookman now. What's up with that? I don't know. But and then you have some interconference transfers as well. Theus went to the portal. They have the best front court. I think on both sides of the ball as well, down low and up top. I love this. Bethune Cookman in the top 3 of my SWAC. That's my one spoiler of the night.
Okay. Yeah, I got to question on what you said. 3 out of 5 starters actually returned to this roster. That includes Zion Harmon and Jacoby Hetty. They actually brought in Hetty's brother as well. He's going to be on this roster. And his brother Quentin, and he's also expected to be a part of the rotation. He was at Central Michigan last year, and he transferred in. They won the Dr. Bradley lottery this offseason. They were able to sway him, to slide over from APB to Bethune, which is a major get. Doc only played 18 games. I think he played 18 games last year, and he led the SWAC in free throw attempts in only 18 games. Yeah, he only shoots about he shot less than 40% from the line, but he did have a 2-point field goal percentage of .667, deadly around the hoop, and duck and cover when he's at the free throw line. The goal for them is to improve him as a free throw shooter. If that happens, all bets are off because they're winning this. I like the roster. I like the talent he's brought in. The arrow is definitely pointed up. Reggie Theus, hell of a coach, one of the best coaches in the SWAC, clearly. I'm we joked about them being a super team last year. Super team 2 is what I'm saying.
I think I agree with Clark. I think they do have the best roster in the league.
They do.
Does this mean they're going to choke? I mean, is it too good to be true? This roster, they have like fringe high major dudes on this team.
They're good. Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's a fluke at all. Well, I mean, we'll see. But come SWAC time, absolutely not if they stay healthy.
I agree. Bethune's a contender.
For sure.
Colby's going to be fired up this year. All right, next up. Oh, yeah, there it is, baby. The hire of the SWAC offseason. Yes, that is Charlie Ward. Yes, the same Charlie Ward that won the Heisman. When did he win the Heisman? What year did he win the Heisman Trophy?
93, I want to say.
3, 4.
He won the Heisman in 1993. Then he played for the New York Knicks. And yeah, I mean, this guy was an unbelievable two-way athlete for the Florida State Seminoles. Yeah. Had a hell of an NBA career with those Knicks. He was on the NBA runner-up team in '99. This is a fun hire, man. They got some money pumping into this program. I don't know if it'll click right away. His coaching resume, he was at Florida High School the last 7 years, so a little bit of a transition. I think he'll be able to get some dudes in this program just with this pedigree, being a Heisman Trophy winner, playing in the NBA for 10-plus years. I love the outside-the-box hire here. Shout out to FAMU. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go, FAMU. I mean, I think, they exceeded expectations and, had a surprise year. And now they're going all in on this on their athletic program, like you mentioned, and gotta love it. You also bring in Anquan Bolden's son, Anquan Bolden Jr. from Buffalo, and then you retain Jordan Chapman as well. So You're retaining talent, also going portal in. Charlie Ward's going to be good for the future of this program. I think they're definitely going to win games, just the talent they brought in. But definitely a future is bright. Maybe not the most glamorous 2025-26 season, but I think they're definitely going to be able to win games and beat these teams in the top half of the bracket, just like I mentioned with the talent that they brought in and the money pumping in there.
For sure. Charlie Ward, he's connected to the Tallahassee area. I think he grew up in that area.
Yeah, I mean, he played at Florida State. He won the Heisman Trophy at Florida State too. So
yeah. So either way, the biggest question I have is what kind of a coach is he? And that's what's going to keep me from picking them to finish in the top half. I'd like to see it like in action if he can actually coach, or if he's just going to roll the ball out there and let the guys do their thing. That's I think that the talent that they brought in is legit. The only return, I think, 1 out of 4 stars, but again, it's kind of be expected with a new coach. The biggest question here is can Charlie Ward actually coach? Is it going to be which way is it going to go? As far is it going to be like a Reggie Theus where he builds a team into a perennial winner, or is it going to be more like I'm trying to think of the worst player to ever transition into coaching, and the only ones I can think of. I was thinking like Isaiah Thomas or Magic Johnson.
Could be.
Isaiah won a couple seasons.
Doug Gottlieb.
There you go.
God.
Perfect example. Well.
I saw him in an airport, and I literally was like, "Hey, shout out here's our podcast we do." I was like, "Yeah, don't listen to the Horizon preview though."
Yeah, you don't need to listen to that shit.
Yeah, just skip the Horizon preview.
I got FAMU somewhere in the middle, just because I think that they have enough talent here to compete. But I do want to see Charlie Ward in action, like his staff. He's connected in the Florida area. They're going to get some players. FAMU trajectory up. And a lot of the reason why they're headed up is the job Patrick Crarey did last year at FAMU. I thought he really did one of the more underrated coaching jobs in all of America. FAMU was god-awful when he got there. And now they're pumping money into their program because of the year he had. 14-17, 10-8 last year in the SWAC. This guy won at St. Thomas in Florida at the NAIA level. Before that, he won at Washington Adventist. I don't even know how to pronounce that fucking school. But yeah, you see his record: 219, 145. Dude, this guy's gonna flip Grambling back over here and put them into a contender. He knows how to win, man, and he knows how to build a roster on the fly because he did it at the NAIA level for years and years. So he's been a head coach now for 15 years in this exact world. So yeah, give me Crarey to get Grambling going.
Yeah, I have to agree with you, and I think the way that they're on the trajectory is always up for Grambling. We've mentioned they've won the conference, and they did well in the portal, bringing in tons of familiar faces from Florida A&M, and then also just all over the place. Another UTSA transfer, Appalachian State, Coppin State, but one I want to shout is Paul McMillan IV from Canisius from the NEC. I think. The way Crarey kind of runs is that run and gun up tempo style, so can always lead to volatility. But if you bring in enough shooters, that guy's going to be on the wing. I can already see it. They're going to be running and gunning in transition. That guy's going to be sitting out ready to pop, and McMillan's going to be able to score as he led the league in scoring for the MAC. Not NEC, but yeah, I'm excited for Grambling State. I think again they're going to be in that upper half, but with the volatility of kind of how they play, maybe some not as many wins as expected, but definitely a step up from 7-11 last year.
Yeah. Grambling State returned 0 out of 5 starters. Again, kind of to be expected with a new coach. The biggest get was Paul McMillan, the fourth. He finished on the third all MAAC team last year and led the league in scoring. So, he's actually would you consider the SWAC a step down from Canisius or a step up? That's really a question for Mac.
Down. I think so too. I mean, on the rankings on KenPom, the MAAC is ranked 25th. The SWAC is 30th. So I mean, it's not a huge step It's a
Okay.
minor step back.
Yeah, I think so. So he's showing he has success in a slightly better league. He's stepping into he's stepping into again a similar role on in what I would consider to be an easier league, if I'm honest. I like some of the other gets he got. Roger Carter III came in from Florida A&M. Darius Ward coming in from Coppin. Nazar Mahmoud coming in from UTSA. These are all dudes. These are all legitimate athletes who've played Division I basketball. I love their backcourt, and I'm intrigued by their bigs. They've got a couple of long, really long athletic guys that should step into the big man roles and on the floor. So I'm intrigued to see what it looks like in terms of a final product. I think I honestly, given the coach combo and the roster combo, I see a top 3 team here.
Could be. I mean, Crarey got he got fucking FAMU to 7th after they couldn't even win a game. What was FAMU's record before
it was like 6-24 or less, maybe. I mean, they
23. Year before that, 7-22. Yeah, I mean they were a dump when he got there, and he turned that thing right around. So yeah, give me Crarey and company to take a nice step here. If you also want to take a nice step, do so over at Underdog Fantasy, baby. Underdog is a great place to play fantasy. Pick them where you can win 500 times your entry. Simply pick higher or lower on your favorite player stats. Available for a ton of sports. Underdog's got a brand new offer for new customers. Pay just $5 and get $100 in bonus funds when you sign up with our promo code TCESGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Rhythm is crushing college football and NFL right now. We got Missouri State and Liberty here tonight. Both are up. Missouri State just scored, so shout out to them. And they got picks and props all over the board. 8-2 on passing props over in week 5, and 5-0 in Dylan Gabriel props. So get on over there. Rhythm is giving away weekly cash prizes just for tracking your bets in the app. Track 5 bets on any model, and you can win up to $1,000. Use our promo code SGPN25 when you download the Rhythm app for 25% off your first month. Download Rhythm and use the promo code SGPN25. We continue this journey over to another former player, Mo Williams. The great Mo Williams in the NBA had a great career with the Cavs, multiple stops there, and he was a great 6 man, made great shooter, man. Great scorer overall. So he's done a good job at Jackson State. He's another guy that started in the SWAC at another school, then went from Alabama State, and then Madlock took over for him, and he went over to Jackson State. 3 top 5 finishes in 3 years. 12 wins year 1, 11 wins year 2, and then last year was a nice year, 14 wins. And like I said, that 15 and 17 is misleading. They were 14 and fucking 4 in conference play. So they had a good year. Is this year Mo Williams and company win the regular season finally?
Yeah, absolutely they do. I'm super high on Jackson State. They just were so close, and they almost were close to making the NCAA tournament as well too. So for the first time in a long time. So bringing this program up, maybe this system of NBA, high profile, just trying, understanding the game, but also can go portaling. I mean, you have the 2 best players, I think, in this conference in Dorian McMillan and Deshaun Ruffin. Ruffin, who was an All-American, McDonald's All-American. So, and he's dominated the SWAC, and you retain 3 starters. I think everything's up for Jackson State, and there's a lot of expectations as well. And they also bring in such good talent from the portal. But those 2 in the backcourt, absolutely dangerous. I think where they lack the most is their size against some of these other teams. But the way they run, can get into transition, play some good defense on both sides of the ball, especially at the perimeter. I love McMillan and Ruffin for Jackson State this year.
They might have the best backcourt in the conference.
Easily.
They're good. This is a good team. Yeah. This is a team that can win by games too.
Yes.
Yeah, should be able. Yeah, should compete with teams that buy. Yeah, with the rest I'm seeing, yeah, they should. Yeah, again, to Huff's point, yeah, again, they went 14-4 last year, finished second in the SWAC. Three out of 5 starters returning, including 2 of their biggest pieces. Love the backcourt. I am a bit concerned about the size. I think that might hurt them in certain games, certain matchups. But they brought in some dudes that they can at least build a rotation around. How it shakes up, how it's going to shake out, I'm not certain at this point. I think the arrow is still pointed up for Jackson State. It wouldn't shock me to see them finish in the top 3. Yeah, this is a good team, good coach, good program. They do the thing where they add portal pieces, but they also build from within. So they've got like a dual track, which is kind of exciting, where they're actually trying to build a program as opposed to buy a program, which I think is again I think it's the right way in a conference like the SWAC. That's the right way to do it, where you build from within with that culture, but you add where you need it. I think that's a smart way to go.
And last year, man, like I said, they have a chance to win bye games. Last year they went 0-13, but when you dive into it, man, they lost by 9 at High Point. They lost by 12 at Vandy. Those were 2 NCAA tournament teams. They lost by 8 at St. Louis. They lost by 2 at Arkansas State, who was in the Sun Belt Championship. And then 6 at UTEP, and then 6 at Cal Baptist. Dude, they were knocking on the door, and they played other teams like Houston, Xavier, Kentucky. They played Iowa State. They played who's who. The year before that, they beat Missouri and Arkansas State in bye games. So this is a capable team that could win some bye games this year. So have them circled as a big dog here. Let's go. I'll tell you who's not going to be circled.
Oh, God.
We have arrived at America's team, the Mississippi Valley State Delta Devils. Here we go. George Ivory. He is no longer the athletic director. Career record of 149 and 354. Not very good. He is 9-85 at Mississippi Valley State in his 3 years.
Solid.
He is 6-47 in SWAC games. Can they get out of the basement this year? Can they finish 11th? What they finish last year in the SWAC? 1-17, back-to-back 1-17s. Good Lord.
I don't think they can. I mean, this is it. This is the ceiling. I think 5 wins is a ceiling. It's what we expect, but it's what we love from Mississippi Valley State. So just know, if you're at the bottom of the of everything, analytically, standing wise, you name it, at the bottom of everything, you're at the top in media and brand likeness for sure. They do a good job of their brand. I can't really, you don't have any pieces because it's all just different pieces, and your pieces have produced 8 wins in 3 seasons. Come on now, it's not very good, and it's just downright abysmal. And I think it's going to be another abysmal season, unfortunately, for our beloved Delta Devils.
Yeah. They returned one out of 5 starters from a team that went 1-17 in the SWAC. And they've yeah, it's a case where it's probably addition by subtraction. But that being said, the pieces they brought in, it's a lot of Division II guys, a lot of community college guys, and they don't really have the resources to compete. If I'm honest, like they don't have nearly the same resources that even other SWAC programs have. So this might be the toughest job in the country. Just to have it to feel. I think just honestly, just fielding a team and playing a full schedule is considered a win for Mississippi Valley State. So in that regard, they're undefeated. I did want to. Can we take a look at their schedule real quick?
You are looking live Wednesday night, November the 5th, where the Valley State will be playing the Mississippi University of Women. This is where they pull whistle 500. Let's go. Let's go, Delta Devils.
Who's going to beat those Mississippi University of Women Owls? Mississippi Valley State is. That's who.
That's always.
Yeah, that's their one win. Then, yes. No, DePaul plays Chicago State this year.
Well,
I don't think they have DePaul in the schedule.
I can't remember which one though.
I'd have to
I'll
look
look it
to
up.
know for sure.
Sorry.
Okay, so this year's Trail of Tears. Um, the early part of their schedule isn't they have they're on the road from the 5th to the 14th before they get Manhattan coming to Itabena. And then the real Trail of Tears kind of begins. C-Sub, Texas A&M, ULM, K-State at K-State, Florida State at Florida State, West Virginia at West Virginia, Oklahoma at
Hey,
Oklahoma.
when did they play West Virginia? What date did
What's
they
that?
play West Virginia?
December
Oh,
22nd
I'm
in
gonna be in
Morgantown.
Morgantown.
Merry Christmas.
You got to go. You got to get
Boots
boots on the ground
to
for this one, Mac.
see the Valley Delta Devils in action.
Yeah.
They're also going. They're doing one of the Hawaii tournaments too, so you get to travel to Hawaii as well.
At least you get some good vacations.
Hey, Cap, DePaul does play APB on True TV December 6th. On True TV.
You're on True TV? Is that Martin Luther King Day?
No, December 6th.
No.
And Wintrust against APB. It says it's on True TV. They must be showing games this year. That's sick.
Must be an HBCU classic. They've been trying to do more HBCU showcase games, so maybe that's one of the HBCU showcase. I'm not sure they want to showcase. I'm not sure they want to showcase Mississippi Valley though.
No.
Can we get like a MEAC versus SWAC challenge with like South Carolina State versus Jackson State? That would be awesome. Sign me up for that game.
Well, but again, the problem with these teams is they've got to schedule these games just to have a program.
Very true.
So it's going to be it's going to be a long non-con season for Mississippi Valley. They will get one win. They're gonna beat them. Is it the Mississippi or Missouri University? Mississippi University for Women Owls. They should be able to beat them. Sadly, we're probably not going to get a line for that game, but that should be a win for
I'm
the
just
Delta
glad I
Devils.
have my Morgantown apartment so I can see these Delta Devils in person. Let's go, baby. Anything else to add on our Delta Devils? I think that's enough talk. How did they get the longest segment again?
Good media.
We got a lot. Hey, there's a lot to talk about.
It's America's team, baby. Let's go. Next up, Byron Smith is the head coach at Prairie View. Last year was, man, the floor fell out of this program. They had not been that bad in a minute. I know they only did win 5 conference games a year before that, but then they dropped back, only won 4 last year, back-to-back 10th place finishes. He's been a good coach at this level. He's 98-70 in the SWAC over his tenure. What do we make of this team, man? In this program, it kind of feels like since the portal NIL era, they really have taken a step back under Byron Smith.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you, unfortunately. And I think it's just like a lack of identity of style of play under Smith as well. And just like how I've mentioned a few players that are standouts in this league, they kind of just lack that talent. But to their upside, they have a lot of depth. I think they have one of the best depth in the conference. So tons of different like role players. So maybe they can find out a way to gel. But sometimes, that ISO game just doesn't always work that you can rely on with those guys that we mentioned on Jackson State and Ruffin. So this is where they lack a star power, playmakers. So maybe they can gel, but I think their depth could be good come, the game of attrition we all know come this month of March and February when you've played about 20 plus games. But yeah, I think Prairie View still going to be at the bottom half of this conference, but hopefully a step up from 5 wins for sure. 6 wins.
Okay. Yeah, they went 4-14, finished 10th last year, returned 1 out of 5 starters. They do lose one of their more important pieces in guard Nick Smith, who the team was kind of built around. So it not ideal there. Some of the guys they bring in size. They got a 6'7", 235-pound junior named Marcel Bryant. Who's expected to take on more of a larger role this year. So they've got size on the inside with Bryant. They've got a couple other pieces they've added. I gotta say the arrow was pointed up, but I don't know how I don't. It's a very we're talking like a 30-degree angle as opposed to like a 45. It's not it's not a very they should be better than last year. There should be improvement, but I don't think it's going to be like top half. It's still a bottom half program at this, in my eyes, at this stage.
Unfortunately, I think I agree with you, man. I'm still trying to figure out what happened to this program. I mean, there was a stretch there in 2017, 10-8. Then next year, 12-6 and 17-1. They get to the first four. Then they go 14-4, 13-0. They won 3 straight SWAC regular season titles. Now they're finishing in 10th year after year. Disappointing, to say the least. Let's talk about these Southern Jaguars, man. Kevin Johnson doing a good job. Year number 3. Year 1, they finished 3rd in the conference. He went 12-6. Last year, they won the regular season, 19-10, and 14-2 in league play. They get knocked off in the conference tournament. So Southern's going to be right there to compete again. They got picked off by Grambling. Yeah, I remember that upset. So overall, Kevin Johnson doing a good job. What's your take on this, Huff?
Yeah, I think coaches matter in this, and as we all love in college basketball.
Yes.
But you lose a lot of your pieces last year, player-wise. That's tough with only one returning starter. But coaches do matter. Kevin Johnson, a proven winner in this league, and now 2 winning seasons. I at Southern, so that's always a good thing. That 3rd year, he needs to be able to actually, do his coaching prowess, kind of work with his talent of what he got, and tries to find some pieces. But another team that actually has a lot of depth, and that worked for them well last year. And I think he still had to work with what he got. So and was a proven winner. And they were covering against Texas A&M last year. I remember they were playing good bye games. Southern was, so they were a really physical team. And I think Johnson's system is behind that of being physical and forcing you to long possessions on offense, and that works well in the SWAC. So I think Southern again will win games under Kevin Johnson, even with their lack of talent and losing a lot of pieces last year.
Yeah, they may only return 1 out of 4. 1 out of 5 starters, returning to this team, but they return about half their rotation, which is I think is actually as important. It's almost as important as returning starters. Just being able to have guys that you can rely on, that have been in your program, been in your system, be able to ask them to take a step up, in terms of minutes, in terms of production. That's kind of where they're at. Is where they've got guys that were in the system. They've got a group of guys who were in the system and are looking to, they're looking to get a bit more out of this year. So I do like that there's like a building aspect to the program. That it's not just like, again, going out and looking to buy a team every year. And just kind of roll the ball out there and hope what happens. They have a system. They have guys returning in that system. And they've also added a few pieces that I think are solid. I'm a bit worried about their overall size. I think they've got one of the weaker front courts in this, but I like their backcourt an awful lot. And when it comes to bench depth and some of the coaching intangibles, I think again they're right there. So I do see Southern as an upper half team. I don't know that this is a team that's going to win 15 games in conference again, but I do see them as, again, solid upper half. A team that if you have to go into their gym, you're going to have a tough night. So that's kind of where I'm at with Southern at this point.
I agree. I like this team, and I like Kevin Johnson. I think he's a pretty good coach. So, guy I'll trust. He's given me a 2-year sample size and finishing in the top 3 back-to-back years. A lot of returning production. And let's get over to these.
Actually, I'm sorry, Mac. One other thing, as far as scheduling, they've got one. Their non-com is also.
It always is, and they've won bye games before.
They were covering.
They open at Arkansas, then visit Marquette two days later. They also have Washington, Texas, and Illinois, UNLV, and Mississippi State. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, I made that mistake. No, I got the first 4 right and the last 2 wrong. Apologize. They won at UNLV and Mississippi State previously.
Let's go. All right, this is a good program. This one usually has the pedigree year after year, even though They finally have not won in a couple years now, Texas Southern. I think it's back-to-back years. Johnny Jones has finally not got into the dance after 3 straight appearances. But Johnny Jones, every year except for 1 year, he's had a winning record in the SWAC. He's 80-41 in his 7 years in the SWAC, to my point, 67%. 121 and 107 overall. He's got over 400 career wins. Johnny Jones always seems to get his guys playing the best ball come March. Texas Southern used to be a system play in the SWAC, but I mean they're going to be in the hunt once again. These what's their mascot? Are they the Jaguars?
The Tigers.
They are. No,
Tigers. Yeah, Tigers. These Tigers. So yeah, Johnny Jones, good coach.
Yeah, I mean, this is my pick to win the conference, not for the regular season, but always in the tournament. And, Mike Davis, shout out Mike Davis, proven winner, always getting Texas Southern out there to the tournament. And then, Jones as well is able to do it and has been able to do it and go to Dayton. But I think they're definitely going to be competitive this year. They have a ton of experience. And Jones knows how to win in this league. He's familiar with everyone's system and their coaching ability, which I think can translate, and the experience that they have and bringing a lot of pieces back and actually retaining talent, I think is a winning formula in the SWAC. So I like Texas Southern here to be in the top 5 of this conference for sure, and a little vengeance in the tournament.
Yeah, but 12-6 last year, tied for 4th in conference. 2 out of 5 starters returning. What's nice is they've got at least 6 guys who average 5 points or more. Coming back this year, so they return a lot from a team that did well in conference. So I would look for them to take another step. Maybe crack the top 3.
It's hard to bet against Johnny Jones, man. He's always in the hunt. Sorry, I was putting up content for Mississippi Valley State, so yeah. I always got to plug my Delta Devils. Like I said, they always steal the show on this preview because they're America's team.
I mean, would you potentially be able to try to get a press pass to the West Virginia MVSU game?
I'll just walk in. I'll just walk in, sit behind their bench.
You could probably do that too.
Let's pick these teams. Mike is asking why the SWAC tonight. We got college football kicking off in 20 minutes, and we got to get the SWAC in at some point. Yeah,
why not?
This is a good time to get the SWAC in.
I have a feeling that's not his last name, but
Mike Hoochie.
He got back.
At number 12, I got these Delta Devils.
I'll say that as well. Delta Devils 12.
Yeah, Delta Devils coming. Yeah, bottom of the SWAC, sadly.
And number 11, I think I got to go Pine Bluff. I got to see it from them.
Sadly, we're doubling up here. I'm going Pine. I've already done the SWAC prediction, so going off of what I already said, but I'll Pine Bluff 11th. Yeah. So.
I'll put Pine Bluff at 11 for now. Yeah, Pine Bluff is my 11. Yeah, co-sign.
Bottom 2. We know our bottom 2.
This is where we're going to disagree, though. I have a feeling.
I got Alcorn.
I
got Alcorn. New team, new coach. Show it to me, Jake Borden.
I got Prairie View here. I think they still stay down, but improve upon 6 wins last season total.
I've also got Alcorn down here at 10. There's just too many unknowns. They're not. It's gonna be a mess of a year at Alcorn State, sadly.
I got Prairie View at 9. They continue to struggle. I don't know what else I can add to that.
Do you think they get more than 4 wins?
I think they do. If they finish 9th, maybe they can get 6. Maybe.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I've also got them at 8. Or sorry, at 9. I apologize.
I got Alcorn at 9. We flopped those 2.
Okay, that makes sense.
All right. At number 8, I got FAMU. Charlie Ward, Heisman Trophy winner. It looks tight, but we're heading in the right direction.
Number 8 for me is Grambling State. I like Curry, but shout out Clark with the McMillan. Paul McMillan left the program, family illness today, I think. So I think they're going to have issues with volatility, but they're still going to win games. Again, like we mentioned, being 7th in this conference isn't always a bad thing, total win-wise and for the conference wins.
Okay, at 8, I've got Alabama A&M. No shade to that program. I think they're doing the right things, but I just think there's still some work to be done there. I see them taking a step. Last year they finished 9th. So step up to 8, they get 7 conference wins.
Yep.
All right, at number 7, I got Grambling. They are banged up, to Clark's point in the chat, but I like Crarey. I think Crarey will get that new bunch playing hard. I think they'll be a pain in the ass come February in conference play because Crarey's a good coach.
7th for me is Alabama State. I like Madlock, but I think they lack talent as much as they did, and again, they'll be able to win some games, be competitive, but they finished 7th.
Okay, 7th, I've got FAMU. I think they take a big step with Charlie Ward. I think he gets that program in the right direction. I do think he can coach, and I think he's got some dudes. So I think a 7th place finish for his first season. I think it's about where they finished last year, and I think he's able to replicate that. But it's going to be an arrow pointed up 7th as opposed to like a sideways arrow.
Okay. At number 6, I'm going to go Alabama State and Madlock. I did say I thought they'd be top 5, but I did end up liking some of these other teams. So give me Madlock and company to finish. This is still top half of the league.
Okay.
6 for me is FAMU. You guys mentioned it. I think Charlie Ward puts them in the right direction, and they continue pouring money into this basketball program, and a massive step in the right direction for the Rattlers.
At 6, I got Grambling State. I think this is, and honestly, I feel like this is their floor. I don't see this team, just given the coach and given the situation, I don't see them finishing any worse than 6th. It wouldn't shock me if they like shocked everybody and like made a run to the top 3. But for my prediction, where I've got them number 6, just based on roster construction and coaching capability.
At number 5, I got Alabama A&M and Donte Jackson. They take a step from that Grambling year, and he gets back into the top 5 where he's been traditionally in the SWAC.
Number 5, I got Southern. I think they'll be able to be good under Johnson, but they're going to have to, like I mentioned, work with the talent that they got.
Okay. At 5, I also have Southern. Again, I don't think that's not meant to throw any shade. I just think they take a step back. I think the league has gotten better. And I think they take a small step back just based on what they lost. I mean, despite they do return a fair bit, but I think there's a step back here, and there's a step up for a lot of other teams.
4, I'll go Johnny Jones and Texas Southern. They always are in the hunt. So give me Texas Southern 4, playing their best ball at the end of the year, ready to win the conference tournament.
Co-sign that. I got Texas Southern at 4 as well.
Okay, I've got Alabama State at 4. Again, we talked about a lot of the things that they did early in the show, as we do for every team. So go figure. But no, just based on the season they had last year, I think they've made that leap into the top into that section of the standings for this. They have not quite made the leap into the the top 1, top 2 like elite of the SWAC just yet.
3, I got Southern. Taking a slight step back, but still in the top 3. This is a good program. Give me these Jags.
3 for me is Alabama A&M. I like Donte Jackson, and I think it's going to be a massive year 1 for him.
Okay. 3, I've got Texas Southern. Again, I see the arrow is pointing up for that roster. I like a lot of things they did. I think they've and they've got one of the better front courts in the conference. So I'm going to ride with Texas Southern to finish top 3.
I got Bethune at 2. Reggie Theus, they take a step, another step. I don't think they're good enough to win the regular season. I got the other team. I got the Jackson State Tigers getting it done here with Mo Williams and company. I think this is the year they finally get it done. So I got Jackson State 1, Bethune 2 to round out my rankings.
Yeah, same here. I have Bethune 2 and Jackson State 1. I just think Jackson State has the 2 best players in the conference, although Bethune may have the best roster. I'm going to go for those playmakers in Ruffin and McMillan.
I've got Jackson State 2 and Bethune 1. Bethune gets the job done this year.
You're drinking the Kool-Aid.
I can't fade Dr. Bradley
Until he quits.
until there are mysterious circumstances that question whether or not he's going to be playing.
Who?
I don't think we ever got it. It was an injury. I don't know why he wasn't playing or why he was playing.
He'll be out again at some point.
Probably.
Come December, January.
His name's Dr. Bradley. He's going to be on the injury report at some point. It's not even a real name.
Well, he's actually secretly like 34 years old and like played professionally in Poland.
Who will be playing in the NCAA tournament first four in Dayton next year when they win the conference tournament?
You guys go first?
Yeah, I don't know who I want to pick yet.
I'm going to pick Jackson State. I think last year left a bad taste in their mouth, and I think they want to. They're dedicated to kind of finishing the job is kind of how they've been talking about it in preseason. I think Jackson State gets the job done. I really like that roster, and I think they're come tournament time. They should be rounded into shape. I do like them to finish in the top three in league play, but I think they're going to be really dangerous in that tournament.
Jackson wins the regular season, loses the conference tournament championship to Bethune Cookman, to Texas Southern is what I had, because it's just Texas Southern, and that's what they do in the conference championship. Surprise team.
So it's in Georgia. I believe it's in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this thing never goes chalk. Hey man, revenge tour for South Carolina State in the MEAC. Revenge tour for Jackson State in the SWAC. I got both 1 seeds winning regular season and conference tournament here. Let's go, Mo Williams and company.
Okay, so I think we all know we can fade MAC and the SWAC and MEAC then.
Because
it never goes chalk.
It did, didn't it last year? No,
Southern. In the regular season,
2 years ago it did.
Yeah.
Grambling, I think Grambling ran the table in both 2 years ago.
Wow.
So,
all
right, guys. It does it for the SWAC Wednesday coming up here in a little bit. The college football weekend games. Go check out the weekday games. Those are already out. We got 2 games in action right now. Liberty, UTEP, and Missouri State versus Middle Tennessee. Go check out the Locks and Dog podcast with Cannabis Capper and company. Go check out the Pump Fake Pod with Huff and company. Anything else, guys, before we get out of here?
No, Mac, that'll be it.
No.
Tomorrow night, the Fun Bell continues. And, that's all I got. Go follow him at Cannabis Capper. Go follow Huff at, forget your handle. It is Michael_Huffer3. I'm at Moneyline_Mac. We are the College Basketball Experience. See you guys on the football channel here in a little bit, knuckleheads. And we are out of here. Jack fucks.
By the beer.
Yeah, right. Go get another beer, too. You gotta have a brewski to talk a little SWAC shit.